I guess it's not knowing where you're going to end up.
There's a lot of decisions you have to make. It's an exhilarating experience when you actually get to see something.
It can take hours, but it's always worth it in the end.
Really just something that you really have to experience.
It's certainly not for everybody.
When you think you've seen the best of it, there's always more.
To see its raw power and try and understand it and try and get ahead of it and keep ahead of it is a challenge.
It's just seeing what Mother Nature can really throw at you. My name's Ashley.
My name's Ben.
My name's Scott.
I'm Richard,
I'm a meteorologist.
Professional weather forecaster.
professional meteorologist.
I'm a PhD student studying weather radar at the moment.
On a typical day,
Have to take complex model data,
Satellite imagery, radar imagery.
make decisions based off what the models are showing us, and interpolate that into a forecast that our customers can easily interpret and then make their decisions based off, which saves lives and that kind of thing.
I'll be taking data, writing some code to process it, and then looking at the results and analysing those, writing that up into scientific papers.
it can be stressful at times, but I think it's very rewarding.
So yeah, so making decisions when you've got a lot at stake is something that being a meteorologist it comes with the territory.
It's really just problem solving, but when you fix one problem, you'll usually open up about 10 more problems for you to fix as well.
Different times of the day, night shifts, day shifts, weekend shifts, working Christmas.
It can be frustrating at times, but I do enjoy it. I couldn't really imagine myself doing any other job right now.
Why do we know each other? Where did we first meet? And then
Oh, it was a lovely day in spring.
I know these other guys back from 2012 when we started our undergraduate degrees at the University of Reading.
There's a photo of us on the first day and we all look so young compared to now. It's kind of cringy to look at.
But the reason we bumped into each other is because we were at the same course.
Ben and Richard and Scott, they went off to do a climb for a year, whereas they left me behind. Left me behind for a year, but no, we all know each other from uni, and we all bonded over our love of weather and all things severe related.
As part of our degree, we got to go out to Oklahoma for a year. It was like an exchange program.
And that was our first real taste of severe weather in the US.
Arguably, we weren't really chasing.
We really didn't know what we were doing at all. We were complete idiots, to be honest with you out there.
There was a lot of just arguing over what the data meant.
A lot of shouting between us.
The very first chase we did, actually, we ended up in the middle of a field with no radar. We saw some mammatus from far away. That was about it. We saw one very nice structured supercell in Floydada.
We had some pretty interesting storm chase vehicles.
2 cars that had been passed down the years, and they were really old.
They were both, I don't know, their combined age was probably about 30 years. Actually, one of them had done over 250,000 miles.
We'd usually go storm chasing in Terrence, and we had this roof rack on it that if you went over 70 miles an hour, it would start vibrating horrendously and the scene would start shaking.
We had a stapler keeping the roof together on one of them.
The glue had melted between the fabric on the ceiling of the inside of the car, so if you were in the back seat you couldn't actually see the windscreen because the fabric from the ceiling was sagging down.
One of the air conditioning didn't work, which it gets pretty hot. And with the foamy steering wheel, it was moist. Oh, it was horrible.
Generally the cars were not suitable for driving through 2 feet of floodwater, which we had to do several times.
And it was almost bowing over the bonnet of our smaller yellow car. Rest in peace, Sid.
In general, the storm chases in 2015 were a bit of a disaster.
I've been storm chasing before, but I used to go with a tour company. The first time I went was back in 2010, so quite a long time ago. This year marks the first time that I'm doing it without a tour company, which is quite nerve-wracking. This time I feel more in control. I feel like I'm actually picking a spot and saying I want to go here and I want to do X, Y and Z. Even though I've seen some amazing stuff before in the past, I've seen I think about 20 tornadoes now, and going out this time there's added pressure there because I'm not only am I now involved in having to forecast and predict and having to say where we go, but also I've always had such good luck and success with the tour company I've been with. It's going to be really hard to try and top stuff that I've seen from that.
Spring 2018 will be the first year that we to go storm chasing properly, a properly organised trip with a proper storm chase vehicle, aka a rental car.
To try and overcome some of the issues we had when we chased in 2015, we decided that the person in the passenger seat in the front will make the final decision. So if there's some debate over what to do, the person in the front will have the final say.
We need to have somebody obviously driving, somebody to navigate and know exactly what roads to take, because you know you have dirt roads, you have roads you can't drive on when they get wet.
I think just generally it'll go a lot better this time because we're a bit more mature, I think. I'd say we're possibly a bit more cool-headed now because we know what to expect.
When you've got a storm barreling down on you, it's pretty heart-pumping stuff.
And so we won't freak out when something ominous looking is coming towards us.
Obviously, just going to the Great Plains for one reason and one reason only is to see storms.
Being prepared, being organised.
And really kind of be awake at all hours to do so. Be willing to drive ridiculously long distances on a daily basis.
I think when we were in Oklahoma we certainly learnt a lot about how not to storm chase. Parts of the storm to stay away from. I think for example the core of the storm where all the precipitation, large hail, strong winds occur. That's certainly one thing we're going to want to stay away from. And also I think flash flooding, which is a very underrated hazard in severe storm situations.
We'll have a much better car than we did in 2015. Hopefully we'll be able to go off-road and so we won't be so worried about where we can take the cars. That was a big restriction. Maybe the air conditioning will be a little bit better. We'll be able to keep cool, physically and mentally.
Seeing a nicely structured tornado will be the dream. I think it would be pretty unlikely for us to see one, to be honest with you, just given previous experiences when storm chasing.
I was really wanting to see a stovepipe tornado, a nice structured, easy, clear-cut tornado. No questions asked, no camera enhancing to argue that that was a tornado. No beating about the bush, just a solid tornado.
There's certain different types of tornado I've not seen. I've not seen like a wedge tornado or like a multi-vortex one or anything like that. So I've only seen stovepipes and cone tornadoes. I've not seen anything other than that.
Also I do like structure, massive kind of shelf clouds, corkscrewing supercells, picturesque.
You can never tire of seeing those things, so you're always going to want to go back.
A corkscrew updraft. And some nice striations as well. I think that would be really nice.
I also like to see just lots of lightning and large hail. I love large hail.
So to see something that was just impressive, that would be just grand.
Because it's the first time I'm doing sort of having a part to play. I'm just seeing a supercell and maybe even a type of tornado if we're lucky. To me, I'd be quite satisfied with that. So with all our expertise put together, I think we're able to pull it off.
So far in 2018, we have not had any tornadoes in the state of Oklahoma yet.
Lowest numbers of tornadoes that we have had for the state of Kansas, so we have had 0.
The forecast over the next week or so, we're probably going to end up breaking that record this year.
That's going to be a new record for us.
It looks like the number's going to be much less than that.
This year just could be a light year for tornadoes.
The 2018 storm season started off as one of like the worst ever.
It wasn't really looking very good before we went out. There hadn't been very many tornadoes at all. April had been, very, very quiet.
And we're looking at this thinking a little bit with concern, I think, for the upcoming storm chase for ourselves.
I guess that's a risk with any storm chase, but this year in particular, seeing friends that had already gone out, or who were out there already who hadn't seen anything at all, is quite disheartening.
Even up to like 2 weeks before we went out, there was like nothing.
Quite a lot of the time the atmosphere doesn't really want to play ball.
At this point we'd spent like £1,000 on the flights and rental car.
Can make the whole thing seem like, is it even worth it? A lot of people questioning, what if you don't see anything?
And the prospect of going out there for 3 weeks and just seeing nothing was, really daunting because there's just not really that much else to do in these states.
Heading out to the States, we were all a bit apprehensive that we might not see something. It's been very quiet. It's just the weather patterns just didn't look very good at all.
I wasn't sure whether I should come or not in the first place. So for it to be like this, after everyone had convinced me to come, I was particularly like,
Sometimes the season may start quiet and may finish with a bang, which it did in 2013, for example.
Looking back on how things planned out, I guess being nervous and apprehensive was the least of our concerns when it came to what weather actually hit the car.
We got to the States on the 19th.
For the first 3 days we didn't really get that much in the way of storms, which was a bit of a shame.
Milled about, for want of a better word, really.
Driving about 1,000 miles to Norman, Oklahoma. faffing around basically.
It was just hot, it was just dry.
It was quite frustrating, to be honest with you. I think tensions were running quite high in the car. There was a few kerfuffles and a few arguments that broke out.
The 23rd rolls around.
And there's some severe weather on the horizon, so we're all really excited for it. First proper severe weather day of the storm chase.
Where SBC had actually issued something worth our attention.
Moderate expectations, nothing too high.
We've got a good slight risk through Colorado and into Nebraska.
The general synoptic environment really just has a warm front lifting north across the central and high plains, dew points in the mid-60s, air temperatures in the mid-80s, and a trough line sitting north-south across Colorado and into New Mexico.
Looking at the models and deciding what we thought was best.
The overall environment wasn't that conducive for significantly severe thunderstorms, not a huge amount of synoptic forcing.
It looked quite disjointed. There was no large-scale trough or anything to give us an easy target area. It was more getting on storms early before they upscaled.
So we started off in Hays, Kansas, which I'm very fond of because of all the time I spent there. I'd spent 6 weeks in Hays, Kansas in 2015.
For fuck's sake.
So I had a lot of memories there.
So we left Hays, a really hot sunny day, good preemptive conditions for significant thunderstorms in the afternoon.
We decided to go with initial target area just northeast of Colorado.
And we drove straight to Holyoke, some town in Colorado.
Severe thunderstorm watch has been issued. Just north of Denver, all the way up through Scottsbluff. Yay!
We found a field to the west of this town, so we had a good view out where we expected all the storms to fire. We had the edge of the cirrus shield behind us. We were pretty confident with the spot that we'd chosen.
And there we sat in a field for a few hours, which was actually quite nice just to be in the environment. And we had these thunderstorms, or towers really, they weren't thunderstorms at that point, just popping up all around us and then dissipating as they evaporated. And we saw a few spots of rain. It was getting quite exciting.
When you're sitting there waiting for things to go, and over these small communities you'll see a car with a 360 camera on the roof and think, what the heck are they doing on my land?
Why are you all here looking at the sky? What are you doing? You crazy?
And they thought we were invading their property. We got a bit worried for a few moments they might bring a shotgun on us or something. Added a bit of spice to the afternoon.
Because with the territory storm chasing, you do pick up a lot of attention from the locals, and they do often ask you for an up-to-date weather report. You know, oh, we're going to get a tornado and stuff. But obviously in this case, we were just sat watching clouds.
And then when they hear your accent, they obviously think, where are y'all from?
They pick up on the accent, and they pick up on the fact that we're obviously looking a bit weird with lots of cameras and stuff.
That's always the start of any chase.
I think it's quite fun talking to people, and as long as they're not being weird.
So this being the first chase, we decided to have our trusty radar expert Ben making sure we are being navigated correctly and also keeping us on track with the storm. We thought that would be a safe bet for the first chase.
No pressure on me there or anything. In all honesty, I was pretty happy to be leading the chase that day. I was quite excited to kick things off.
So yeah, we've been sat in the field, we're watching some storms fire up.
It can be quite a long wait.
In the field there was a lot of tension, ironically, just trying to work out which storms were going to go and where we might sort of place ourselves.
But the storms were just dying as they came over, it just wasn't quite getting there.
None of them pushed through the cap properly, so we were getting a bit worried, like, is this going to be a bust because the cap's too strong?
It was our first chase day and it just wasn't looking good, and we were just waiting for something to hopefully pop.
We're thinking which one of these is going to go, and a few show potential, and should we get on that one? I learned pretty quickly that's not always the best decision.
After a couple of hours, the first storm sort of appeared and sort of exploded onto the radar really quickly. We could just about see it through the other little cumulus clouds that we had around us. So at some point when the storm looked good enough on the radar, I decided, right, this is the one, let's go.
Oh, there we go. Just have an inflow. Holy shit, you're right. Right there. Right there. Low. Oh, I see it. Oh.
20 minutes away.
So with the storm moving northeast, we slowly sort of intercepted the storm.
That's a pretty fun moment when you make that decision to begin the chase properly. Like we're sort of in standby mode, and then it's like, right, let's go, and everyone's sort of like packing away all their stuff that they've been time-lapsing and running the car like, ugh. As you get closer and closer towards it, you're like, ooh, that looks really good.
Whoa! Like the last two frames, I have nothing to beat. Oh, that's a good view. You can see the whole like plane. Oh.
Once the chase was on, we decided that this is the storm we're going to follow. You do get that overwhelming rush where you think, right, we're going to see something, but not knowing what you're going to see is really exciting. And that definitely came flooding back.
Oh, he's trying to split. He's splitting. He's splitting.
Slow down, stop, slow down. Yeah. He's still in sport mode. Why are there loads of kids? It's like a mini bus stop.
And it took us about an hour to get up to it, and then we arrived at this really nice spot.
Oh, we're in the perfect position.
And we're able to pull over finally and stop just to see what the storm's doing and get a good view of it.
Slow down here and let's
We finally put up on the storm, we finally get out the car, and it's the first time we've seen any thunder and lightning like properly since we've been in the country. So there's all this thunder going all around everywhere. And
I don't think we're in a bad position here. If either storm decides to change, we can just get on it.
yeah.
First thing I felt when I jumped out of the car, it was probably the rain catching up with us, thinking we don't have long. But felt good.
I went over the road to do a time lapse, and the first storm that we'd been chasing looked really good.
Really nice rain curtains falling down from the storm. It's not a severe thunderstorm. Not really producing any significant severe weather.
The bad thing about this location was that we were sort of on the edge of 4 different radars, and that's really bad for chasing because as you get further away from the radar, the beam is higher and higher off the ground. So where we were, there weren't really any low-level radar beams, and this would have been really helpful to be able to see the low-level winds that were approaching us.
Look at that, that's a beast about under.
While this storm was doing its part, we saw another storm become more dominant, or gradually more dominant, a little bit more to the northwest. So we're keeping an eye on that. It looked visually quite nice. Just with a nice anvil and a good strong updraft on it. And while we were doing some photography of that, the first storm that we'd been looking at decided it wanted to just gust out in front of us.
Should we go into that one?
of course, with storm chasing, there's added elements of you are filming in a severe weather environment.
It's just going to start raining here.
So trying to film in these conditions can be somewhat tricky.
It's just about to start raining.
Yeah, my camera fell over. It's great when that happens.
But then we realised it was ramping up a bit.
Is that green above us?
Yeah. So we quickly ran into the car, grabbed our camera equipment quite frantically. Oh, double lightning strike over there. Yeah, we're going to get shot on in a minute.
Should we try and get ahead of this?
Oh, yeah. Okay, get into the car.
Are you driving, Richard?
Double
massive raindrops. Yeah, there you go. Can you put the engine on so I can put this one?
I am.
They're hailstones. Those raindrops are like absolutely massive. The splash radius on the windscreen.
There's some hail, I think. I can see it bouncing.
Oh, look at them come down.
Hold on to that.
Look at the size of the splash radius. Is that hail?
I think it will be hail in a minute.
Get our quick U-turn in the road and
Richard's phone.
dashed off after this other storm to get out of the out of the outflow. You have to put it on. You put it on.
Knowing that everything you do is very time limited with an RFD coming in, or the first large drops of rain starting to catch up with you, you're really part of the chase.
Jeez.
Dangerous.
There you go, yeah. You just want to be able to see what's coming up. gala.
County boundary.
So I was thinking
It's like a massive downburst just here. Look.
Where?
Here.
What, right in front of us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Holy shit!
What the fuck?
The windscreen wipers don't go any higher.
That's maximum speed on the windscreen wipers. That's so shit.
So I think a gala.
So yeah, we're sort of in hot pursuit of this next sort of storm system, hoping that it would reap some more benefits, and I could get a better decent camera shot than what I did.
Look at the temperature.
Yeah.
10 degrees colder.
Temperature.
I can see a problem with my design, however. There's a little bit of water trickling down this cable, very gently.
Straight on this road, yeah?
Straight on this road, carry on for 39 miles.
A lot of scud to the left.
Yeah, we're just like running the boundary.
So we're hot footed after this storm, and we noticed there's some pretty intense echoes coming through on the radar. And in this situation, you then have to make a kind of good judgment call on what you want to do next. So it's either you go hard or you go home, and Ben decided we're going to go hard.
Right, we have a choice.
Either getting very close to the storm by driving on some very poor roads and having to also navigate around a very large lake, or remaining far away from the storm in a safe location and just seeing the structure, but not really necessarily seeing any hail or any of the really juicy parts of the storm.
Okay, slow down. You're going to take a left on Highway 27.
There's a lot of chases here, it's 22.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of chases going up here. So just go for it.
Is this north now?
North, yeah, go for it.
So, inevitably, with Ben being on the radar, we decided we're going to call punch. By the way, it's something you're never really supposed to do in storm chasing. That's the number one thing you shouldn't do, which we did on our first chase.
Don't know. Okay, so the choice I made, if you want to know. Okay, fine.
So basically, this now has 70 dBz ahead of us.
70?
I reckon that's going to get severe warnings very soon.
Just to get ahead of the storm, one has to punch.
These guys being tits.
This isn't it?
This is the problem. We've chased the traffic.
I knew what was ahead of us on the radar, but I wasn't fully aware of what it looked like, because I was really focusing on the storm that we just left.
Shit, look on the left. Oh, yeah. Got HP.
And the light that was coming through was pretty cool. But what followed was quite exciting. Cuts to hail like
Basically, we're going to be surrounded by storms on 3 sides.
I can see the bloody, I can see that thing, that mast flashing, and then the storm as well behind it. Ah!
We were in a pretty dodgy situation. I was hoping this other storm would continue moving northwest, but instead it sort of just stalled and was just spewing out hail over the road in front of us. We have to be careful. It's actually moving northwest.
It looks like a perfect.
It's a left mover.
It's a really left mover. It's moving like 90 degrees left of. It must be super anti-cyclonic. We're pretty high up on the beam of the radar at the moment. It's in the right orientation, right? The difference in velocities, but they're not very tight. There's about 4 rays between them.
Well, tell me we didn't wait to pull off a little bit.
Yeah, I think we should just keep going, because if we stop, we're going to get caught up by this. So this is moving that way, and this is moving towards us from the side. So we need to kind of...
We're slowly getting caught in a moving
trapped.
wall sandwich.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're driving along this road 70 miles an hour, straight into the core of the storm, which we can see ahead of us. Looks like a massive sort of monster waiting to eat us or something. Knowing all the while that behind us there's another severe thunderstorm that's closing in behind us, so we're sort of in a storm sandwich with no real option but to continue onwards, so our fate is already predicted for us by this point.
As the storm was intensifying, we noticed the sky go green.
It's very green, yeah.
And that's obviously a really good indication there's going to be hail.
There's going to be hail in that, I reckon.
We can actually see the curtain. It's about 3 fields to the left. There's been a lot of rain here.
Yeah, there has been a lot of rain here, which makes me worried about going off to the right on a track.
How close do we want to? How close are we getting to it? Before we stop, because there's good views here. Well, not really.
But this thing behind us is approximately, I can see really heavy rain about 2 fields back.
I think that could be hail.
So
it's like blocking out all light.
Is that what it looks like?
Yeah. It's blocking out all light.
okay.
It's gonna hit us. if we stay here. That's it, right, that's for us. Like.
So we need to go up here a lot more. By now the first storm that we were chasing had formed a line and was pretty much on top of us, like coming across the road.
Is this hail?
Yeah.
Okay. That's... Oh, it's like kicking up Scott ahead of it.
Can you see it? How many fields away would you say it is?
They're like 3 fields. Oh. Here we go.
You might want to go faster than 60. I would say like 80 at this point. If we find a gas station, we should hide under it.
Fucking hell.
Oh, we've got 73 dBz at the back end of this storm ahead.
You're letting your in it all of a sudden. I can't see shit.
We were just sort of anticipating, waiting for the first chink on the top of the car to let us know you've hit hail.
If we get behind it, we've lost.
There's no trees or anything to shelter.
As soon as we get up here, there's going to be a highway that goes east-southeast, and it's approximately 7 miles ahead, 9 minutes.
Oh, look just ahead.
What?
It's gonna get absolutely crazy in a second. Seriously, right now.
And then we're always wondering, just wondering, when the hail's going to stop.
You're going to have to go through a lot of shit to get us out of here, but it will put us in a really good place for the rest of the chase.
Fucking hell. We knew there was hail in the storm ahead of us, but we hadn't heard any.
It had all the signatures of a hailstorm on the radar. The reflectivity was about like 73 dBz. ZDR, which indicates the shape of the particles inside the storm, that usually gets bigger as the raindrops get bigger because they flatten out. It was near 0 dB at this point. And then correlation coefficient had also started to decrease, which happens when you have a range of particle sizes. So you might have larger hail particles and smaller raindrops present at the same time.
And the rain kept getting more intense and more intense, and then all of a sudden there's this huge bang on the windscreen.
There's probably going to be some hail, so don't freak out. No choice at this point.
Where are we going?
We're trying to get to a highway that goes south. Slow down.
Where are we going?
You've got about 3 more minutes. 1 inch hail reported ahead.
It was so super loud. You literally couldn't hear anyone talk.
Don't think they're that big, there's just a lot of them. So you shouldn't break the windscreen.
You couldn't have a conversation with the car without shouting.
We've got about 3 more minutes on this road.
Are there any overpasses?
Probably not.
We couldn't see a thing.
You okay?
There was cars behind us, we couldn't see the headlights behind us.
Banging all over the road, left, right and centre, windscreen, mirrors, roof, you name it, all getting completely destroyed by this hail.
You're coming out the other side now, so we shouldn't increase it.
Where the hazard was?
Communication is also a strong point of storm chasing, but in that setup we literally couldn't hear each other speak.
The hail at this point started to accumulate on the road.
You're a snow mode. Ice mode.
Yeah. Is that ice mode?
Yeah, you're in ice mode now.
Blown all over the road, the car's trying to grapple for grip, so it's good that we had that four-wheel drive. And eventually, after about 10 minutes of terrifying driving, we managed to get through. We'd successfully punched the storm. It's literally like Dragon Light.
It's destroyed the trees.
But I think Richard and Ben did a great job in the front, just to make the decision to keep going.
Core benching's great fun. I loved it, but then when we finally got through the hail,
the river's a bit high.
We finally got a visual of what it was we had just driven through, and we could just see sheets of ice and rain coming down through the core of the storm, and we kind of felt like we'd survived. We still had our car intact, we still had our windows intact.
These windscreen wipers are shite.
There's severe warning this storm, 1 inch hail, 60 miles an hour. So it's not a lot.
That's aquaplaning right there, Jesus. That's terrible.
Not a lot. Thank you.
But of course, there's no time to celebrate, we had to keep going, we had to stay in front of the storm.
It's so busy. Nah, it's not worth it. There's too many people go right. I don't think it's that big of a hail. They look quite small. Yeah, so you're going to have to drive through it again, but it should be a lot shorter.
Oh, remember when we got to the other side of the hill core looking back, and the sheets of rain and you can see the sheets of hail coming down like small microbursts. Some fantastic footage of that was captured by a lot of storm chasers actually on the other side. But we were fully aware that we were kind of running alongside a train track.
You drove through the biggest bit?
We drove through that. Well, we drove just south of that and it moved over us. I was hoping it would carry on northwest, but then it's been picked up now.
That was a proper quarter.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So probably the biggest hail that fell on us. Someone said 1 inch, but...
No, I don't think that's 1 inch.
Yeah, on the road it looked pretty small.
It's bloody loud though.
It was very loud, yeah. I think we can withstand a bit more than that.
A little bit more than that.
Well, probably a lot more, right?
He says as he pushes on the windscreen.
And the trains are not like they are in the UK. Those trains are very long, so if you have to wait at a level crossing, you could be there for quite some time. And we were.
I hadn't realised yet that we needed to cross in front of this train.
You're going to turn left onto 92.
Left?
Yeah, and it should take you directly east then.
At least until it gave us all a heart attack.
Very well said, Richard. Jump.
Get the shit out of me. Get the shit out of me.
We're going to race it.
Wave it and get into the other one.
Don't worry, you're not turning left across this.
No, well, I wouldn't.
Well, actually, you will be. It's going to come over here. So if you want to get ahead of it.
I can't, it's fire.
Oh, we've got to wait for the whole thing to come past there. It's so long. We're going to get caught up again by the V-notch.
If it does produce a tornado, we'll be seeing it beautifully because there's absolutely nothing.
No, we will from here, but not if we stay in the cool.
Oh, right, if we stayed in a petrol station. Yeah, it just needs to spin. Yeah, I don't see it. The back windscreen wipers having before.
Oh yeah, how do I turn that thing?
Twist the inner one.
Twist the inner one? Still doing it, Ben, how do I turn it off?
Let's leave it. It should stop. Forget, leave it. It'll do it eventually, because when you touch it...
That's 1-0 there.
Oh shit, that was the road.
We could have made it.
I've got to wait for the train, mate.
Yeah, well, the train's going pretty fast now.
As we turned into the road that we were supposed to be on, I could see the train like accelerating past us. It was so annoying.
Ben, I don't want to go hit by a hail core again, I'm sorry, mate.
You're not going to get hit by a hail core.
Which way are we heading? East? Or?
Directly east, which is like completely out of everything. And then north to Arthur. That's okay.
So one slight wrong turn and a huge freight train, and we were sat with the storm bearing down on us once again, so things were getting pretty tense.
We're hammering our toes on the ground. We want to go. We already
had one round of a car wash. I don't think we really wanted another one.
The hail is coming, guys. The hail is coming.
Hurry up!
Some of that bit's like... see it on the trees.
We could see it advancing closer towards us than the mirrors as well, which was quite unnerving, to say the least.
Right, the distance of
the
trees just disappeared behind us.
The train itself was pretty impressive. I mean, we weren't there to chase trains.
But as soon as the level crossing was open, we floored it straight out of there.
Go for it, go for it.
To get ahead of the storm. We didn't want to get any more hail. We knew the hail could be bigger and more damaging.
Oh. Got 70 dBz again in that southern end.
No, thank you.
And it was pedal to the floor, try and keep ahead of the storm and keep going and stay ahead of it.
Whoa!
Does it look good?
It looks very good.
So the road network where we're chasing is pretty bad, to say the least. It's certainly not a gridded system. Also visibility is not particularly great, a lot of rolling hills around there. Are we out of the radar dead zone or are we still there?
No, we're getting really close to it. Oh yeah.
I can see a slither of it in the mirror. You guys better be up there and driving. Thank you. Storm View live now. Oh shit! I just seen it.
Yeah, when we turn left. My God. I reckon at this point we should just try and get on that north road, and then anywhere along there is brilliant.
Fucking hell! Oh my God!
And we don't want to get stuck behind.
I've seen anything like that before. So we decide we're going to take a shortcut just along a dirt road. It looks like it's there on Google Maps, which is fine. And we get closer to it and we see another storm chaser go up there as well. So we thought, oh, we'll follow them.
Again.
Okay, 4 minutes away.
And this is this turn, is it?
It's going to be a left turn, yeah.
Are you definitely certain it saves time though? Have you checked that?
It does save time. Arthur is sort of where these rain curtains are, so I can imagine this catching up really quickly and then we just get shat on again. 0.5 miles.
That's it.
This is it. We're on the wrong side of it. Yeah. It's pretty short. Oh, it's tarmac. Oh. That's a beast.
Got a massive influence.
I'm not sure which of the road you were thinking it was. And then about 300 metres up the dirt road inside, suddenly that it's stopped. And it's a dead end. Well,
Oh, big CD.
it's just tough work.
What we did?
We can't go up there.
Oh.
I mean, it hasn't rained here.
There's no way I could go up there.
We've got mud rut road.
Can I just take some pictures here or what? Or we just...
Well, now that we've got to drive a lot further.
Can we stop? Should we stop and take pictures?
Well, then we're going to get behind it massively.
Well, yeah, but at least we can just take photos.
Well, then that's the end of the day. We're behind it then.
Oh, we're going to be behind it now then.
I think that should be enough.
Right, I'll do that.
Put the flash on for some reason.
You've done the same as the last guy going to the left lane.
Oh shit, I have you. Oh, fucking hell. Alright. I wasn't thinking. That guy's going out there to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's why you turn around, I guess.
Thank you, Ben.
That's so annoying.
So the fun part about storm chasing is obviously chasing the storms, but sometimes the storms do chase you.
Left here, yeah.
Yeah, left here. Okay, I'm getting my camera out. So stay on here now till Arthur.
Oh, that is lovely.
The time lapse on the 360 is going to be incredible. And I reckon if we turn right at Arthur and get ahead of it a bit, the sun's going to be going down below it. Arthur is 26 minutes along this road.
26?
Yeah. That's why we can't stop for photos, in my opinion.
Alright. I'm sure we don't want to stop hanging around there, we definitely want to get closer. We don't want a good vantage point, because if we get too close, we won't have a good vantage point of it, will we?
Well, that's why we need to get to Arthur and go east.
Well, why can't we just stop here? What's wrong with the vantage point here?
If we stop here, we'll be hit by it, for sure.
how close it is now?
We can easily go back south, back along this route.
It's going northwest. If we go south, we've got to get the I-80 and then do probably like an...
Are you 100% certain this is not a good place to stop and just...
I'm 100% certain
get a good wide view.
A good place to stop.
What about if when we get to Arthur and then go east, the storm's lost its structure completely?
That's a risk I'm willing to take rather than getting hit by it. The models... Sorry, I haven't taken one yet. The models show it developing to a huge MCS system.
I trust you.
Yeah, look, we're not in a position to fuck about.
We're south of it, we won't get hit by it here. If it's moving northwest, we will not get hit by it here.
But that's the end of the day then, we're done. If this goes ahead of us, we've got to go back south. You see where the highway is? 20 minutes to Arthur. Sport mode. Highest reflectivity, so directly to our left now is this thing basically.
Oh, where's this road? This road's coming up, yeah?
Yeah, 5 miles.
5 miles.
Yeah.
We were really flooring it by this point, trying to get ahead of the storm.
I could see that in the small town of Arthur there was an east-west road that we really wanted to take, and it was about 5 minutes ahead of us.
To try and capture the storm from that window, having to lean out and always look up, it was right above us. And you're at that stage where you have to start heading east.
Everyone was being like,
"Ben, we want to stop and take pictures."
We also could see on the radar that the hail in the storm was getting increasingly large.
We want to stop for pictures, but there just wasn't any time.
It was a fantastic view out my side, so I was wanting to get a good shot even from a moving vehicle.
It's got a beast of a shelf on it.
what time is sunset in Arthur, Nebraska?
Whoa!
70 dBz in that.
And we're the only people on this road.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're just coming into Arthur now.
They're all looking straight behind me. What's the good behind me? So they're good there. Oh, this is that lot that opened.
A new hell shaft was like falling out of the cloud as we reached Arthur, and it looked incredible. Richard's camera, please.
They look good.
It's very good, yeah. We got 70 dBz along like 10 pixels now. It's developing quite strongly.
As we were driving through Arthur, we had this sort of really eerie feeling.
This town's going to get shut on.
We knew the town was going to get hit by this huge thunderstorm.
We're on 61 and you're going to go on to 92. And the radar was indicating that a pretty large hail core was coming as well. There was the pretty wide high reflectivity core, but then in the same spot was low correlation. And just behind the storm there was really low correlation, which is something that happens with hail. And ZDR was near zero as well.
Very, very, very quiet, eerily quiet.
This is ominous. This sort of place we get absolutely pummeled by a tornado.
Yeah. Look at all the 70 dBz in there.
Oh!
So anyone who's wanted to go through that, like everyone's south of that now, and they're just screwed. There's no way to keep following the storm there unless they bunch it. And even I probably would say no to that.
The atmosphere was just something out of apocalyptic film. The sky was green, there was no birds, there was just nothing. It was like, you know, the world was coming for us, and then looking out the back of the window there was this huge, I could see this huge hail core.
Now I can only really relate it to scenes I've seen in films like Twister, to be honest with you. The town itself was completely deserted. By this point it was getting close enough to give us this huge green tinge to the storm, really menacing look.
I think everybody in that town knew what was going on. If they didn't, well, they were soon going to find out.
And most importantly of all, I managed to get a decent shot of it, so, you know, all good.
Now, to me, that looks like that's coupling together.
Yes.
Well,
That is.
Before, it was further away from each
Quite a long
other.
way from it, but yes.
Get the low level jet.
Yes, it's picking up the low level jet. That's also that.
So we had that anticyclonic stuff to the north of it, right? And that was there, and that was fine. Now it's properly forming a V-north.
here, yeah? Must be here.
Yeah. There's a really strong solid tip. But this satellite image, my god. Oh. That is absolutely beautiful. It's a right move. Is it? Yeah, we're getting ahead of it now. We're in the best place out of anyone for sure. What a day. What a lovely day. This looks like a beaver's tail. It does. And now we've got the issue is that it's going to cross the road in front of us. If it does come over.
Alright, so we better get ahead where we think it's going to cross.
Why can't the USA have diagonal roads?
Problem is, if it does go tonight, then it's going to have a properly right view.
Yeah. So all the chases are queued up the back and behind it now. You take a screenshot with all the chases there, yeah.
Yeah, do it, put out social media. Volatility, take the risks for you.
Oh, actually, okay, yeah, I'm starting to like that.
Yeah, that's wrapping up.
Okay, maybe we should start.
Is that definitely all lining up?
Yeah.
Oh shit, right. We're literally the only people out there. Yeah. I'm not going to see if there's anywhere up there.
You need to get to America, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for it.
We're trying. It's severe warned again.
For what?
2-inch hail.
Oh.
That's enough to. We would not want to drive through that. Holy shit. Is that funny coming in the white thing?
The landscape was very, very nice. We just wanted to get a good vantage point.
Okay, the velocity coupler's getting a bit tighter now. To the point where I'd say it's nearly a tornado. They haven't said tornado possible, so...
No, they'll be waiting for reports of a war cloud or something from spotters, I think.
The thing is, they won't be able to see it because they're all through. Exactly, yeah.
So do we have a responsibility now?
I don't know. Do we? That little town hall, but... Okay, that'll have a good view. We just feel like a mess like this.
And then we lost signal. So we had no idea what was going on. Had it dropped a tornado? Was it weakening? Don't know. It turned out the whole thing was becoming quasi-linear, which usually restricts tornado development, but we didn't actually know that at the time because we had no signal.
Oh, that's quieter.
That's better.
Fucking hell. I haven't been able to see this at all for the last hour, or however long we've been chasing it.
The time lapse from here is going to be fun. This is not bad. See, there's no tornado on that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, stop. That was the road, sorry.
Oh, here? Yeah. Oh, I'm not taking that.
Why?
It's a dirt road. Oh, shit.
Yeah, but there's no precipitation. Turn around here.
Tell me when to stop.
Turn here. Sorry, my bad.
You just said stop like
yeah, I haven't got any internet, so it's not doing it for me. I'm having to... Yeah, go for it. As long as it doesn't rain, we're all good. Keep you on.
Do you want to go down?
Go for it, yeah. Go down there.
Right.
As long as it doesn't start, as soon as it starts raining, we're out of here. Yeah.
So how long have we got till it gets here?
I don't think I've got any internet. We actually don't know if it's a tornado yet.
Right, let's go turn the car around.
Okay, yeah, go for it. We've got no internet now, so this is useless. Oh my god. If they just stop in front of me, we'd be so pissed off.
Just go there quickly to like...
and we were just elevated, kind of looking back towards the storm.
And we couldn't have asked for a better background as well, with the cows and the hills. There was even a little windmill thing that you see in all the movies.
We didn't have long to stay there, so it was quick out the car with all the equipment and trying to set everything up.
It's always a hilariously panicked, mad rush when you first arrive to go and set up your camera and everything. You'll be flailing around with like a half-open tripod in one hand, and then you got your camera bouncing around your neck as you're running across some random person's lumpy field.
The storm itself was massive. It enveloped about a third of the sky ahead of us.
You could see the whole southern end just like rotating around the shelf. It was so cool.
The sun was setting and the whole storm got lit up.
The sun, by this point, was setting behind the rain shaft, one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see in a storm. You could see the disk of the sun behind the actual rain itself.
It just looked like someone had just dropped an atomic bomb, and it was all just swirling around in one gigantic motion.
And then I quickly set my drone up for a little bit.
Yeah, I can hear you. Jesus Christ. Press F1. Control out 3. Yeah, I'm coming. Just grab the control. You guys, we've got like literally 2 seconds. Yeah, it's coming. Everyone get in. I'm in. Camera. Just help me collapse this.
People's on, camera's there, that's my camera.
Okay, got it.
Fucking hell guys, that was amazing.
Let's get out here.
Fucking hell, turned off.
We've got no internet, so we just got to keep driving east.
Because we're in rural Nebraska, great farm. There was a lot of cows in the field we were in, and they managed to gather around the exit.
You know, they don't care as a storm bearing down and they're just mowing the grass.
Don't fucking do that.
I did feel bad for the cows because they were about to get slammed by some pretty beefy hail.
Whoa, so there was about, what, 6 of us there that have got the shot of the day?
Oh, it's so orange.
It's a bit flooded. Oh, stop, slow. Doesn't look very deep. Go in the middle of the road. Yeah, you can see the lines.
Turn around, don't drown. Guys, I'm not happy with this. Yeah, that
could have been the end of the chase. We would have got hit then by it. No way of stopping. You have to be careful, especially now at night time.
I honestly thought we'd see fuck all today.
Ah! What the fuck was that?
So we were ahead of them.
Yeah.
Actual storm chasing.
Yeah.
You all owe me a bit of time.
Quite frankly.
By this point, the storm was becoming increasingly outflow dominated. It had a really nice shower cloud along it, extending quite a long way across the horizon.
So we kept heading down the road. We spotted this hill coming up, and because it was relatively flat nearby, it was the perfect vantage point.
We're so high up we can see the mountains on the horizon.
We could see for miles at the top of there, and we just, when getting out, we finally got to see the full entire storm. I've been chasing several years and I've never seen such amazing structure on a storm. And it had striations going all across it. It was all orange from the sunset, and there was lightning strikes pinging out of it left, right and centre. I think out of all storms I've seen, it's definitely the most picturesque. And I'm not a structure person, but it was pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, the sun went down and it started to get, obviously it got dark.
There's always a point in storm chasing where the logistical aspect really has to take over the passion and interest for chasing severe weather.
The storm took us out to the sticks. It was getting pretty late. We still had to find a hotel. Food was obviously of very high priority.
So yeah, we decided we had to call it a day.
So we just took it in here.
Okay, I'm ready to.
Right, we're done, I think.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
And decided to head to the town of North Platte in Nebraska.
And we're the last to leave.
For dinner and a refuel and sleep.
Sometimes I can find tumbleweed fucking everywhere. Oh my god. Wow.
So in hindsight, this storm chase really was really incredible.
We had no expectation going into this.
The forecast actually wasn't that good for the day, to be honest, so I think we were all pleasantly surprised.
You know, we started off in a field with these little piddly clouds doing nothing, just seeing that.
One of the best storm chases I've been on, especially in terms of storm structure.
Despite kind of the nitty-gritty and the petty arguments and the apprehensiveness of the first few days we'd had.
As a team, I think overall we worked pretty well.
Making decisions on the chase went very well, although we did have to core punch, but that's always fun.
I mean, I secretly loved the core punch, even though it did feel like we were going to die at the time.
A nice way of cleaning the car after driving around in the dust.
Ben's excellent radar and navigational skills really got us ahead of the game. Ahead of a lot of the other storm chasers, some of who joined us later on in the day and had huge dents all over their bodywork from driving through 2.5-inch hail.
Richard did a really good job driving.
Knowing we'd all played our part, you know, Ben with the radar, and then me, Richard and Scott with the forecasting and navigating.
To actually get the first storm chase to go well, I think that was really important because it got us off to a good start, despite a difficult season thus far.
Yeah, we were all pumped for the rest of the trip after this. This was hopefully just the beginning.
Turn it up. Let's go.